Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I'm here with a Copic Coffeesaurus. This is a really cute stamp set, and it's from Gerda Steiner Designs, and I'm guest designing for them today. So I thought I'd have a bit of fun with this stamp set. But first I'm going to start by creating my background. I want it to be a nice, bright and kind of fun card and keep it pretty clean and simple. So I have these is a stencil. It's not a very big stencil, but that's okay. I'm only going to be partially covering my card anyway, and I'm using some distress inks, and I'm starting with this is the carved pumpkin, and I'm using the round blender tool to add that, and I did decide to flip it around. I don't know why. Anyway, so I did. And my second color is my favorite, which is the Twisted Citron. And then my final color is the peacock feathers, and I think these three colors go really well together. And I have actually moved the stencil around so that some of the squares are overlapping, but I'm not too worried about it because this is where my dinosaur is going to be standing. Alright, so I'm going to stamp him out with some Memento Tuxedo Black because I want to do some Copic colouring, and I've used my Misty to do that. And I did that purposefully because I want to stamp again after I've finished colouring, so I'm not too worried about how the image is stamped out initially. I am using the warm greys to colour him, and I don't know, I've been sort of going between starting with my darks, starting with my lights, and I did start with my darks here, but then it didn't feel right. So I did change it over and ended up on the remaining portion of the dinosaur starting with the light colours, and I found that that worked better. It was just getting too dark. I didn't want him too light, but it was actually getting too dark, and I didn't feel like I had any flexibility, so it was just easier to start with the lights on the head, especially because on the face of an image or on you do need to have a lot of light, like the light's being reflected off it. So by adding the light color first, it did actually wet the paper a little bit with the Copic alcohol ink, and that did make blending a little bit easier. Basically with Copics, I just keep adding color until I'm happy, or removing color until I'm happy. So I do like to go back and forth, and it is easier to add less and then add more as you need to. It does get quite wet, so sometimes you do need to let it dry. It will reactivate when you add more colour to it after as well. So the little coffee cup, I decided to colour him, the coffee cup, the same as the background, like with the green sort of, it's like a takeaway cup, and it's got the green and the orange on it. And this is where I come back in, but this time I'm actually using my Onyx Black ink because it is a bolder black, and that will stamp beautifully over the top of this whole image. It's a pigment ink, but it's quite a fast drying pigment ink, so it's great for this technique. My sentiment's coming from this cute little set, which is called Hedgehog with Sign, and it has three different, it's only a tiny little set, but it has the cutest hedgehog, and it has three different sentiments in the set, and I thought this font would work great with this fun dinosaur image. Now I'm not really sure where I'm going to put the sentiment on my card. I do know that I want to cut it down, so what I've done is actually stamped it in the middle, and that way I can sort of move it around till I'm happy with the placement. So I've got a piece of black and white cardstock. I don't know if you can hear my cat in the background, but she's obviously watching a bird or something. Anyway, so I've got a piece of black and white cardstock that I've added, and now I'm going to add my sentiment to the front as well. And then I did decide to add the sentiment right over towards the edge, and I'm focusing all of my elements and images and colour all down in that bottom right hand corner of the card. I can just flip it over, cut off the excess, and then pop up my dinosaur image, and my card is done. So I do have 2 cards today to share and 2 videos. So I'll link everything below the video and you'll be able to head over and watch the other one. And I hope you like that one too. So till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.